like I only just saw you yesterday because I did.
Yeah. Was it? No, it was 2 days ago.
Semantics. We're doing this early, and it is not actually episode number 41. It is now episode number 42.
Here at the Jankity Ass Podcast, we try to live up to many things. One of which being our name, which is that we are a Jankity Ass Podcast, and God forbid.
We live down.
Oh,
Where the fuck? Here we go.
oh, this is the Hitchhikers episode.
Number 2. That one's lost on me.
Well, you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Nope.
So it's like not a spoiler. It's like right in the beginning. There's basically this planet where this civilization creates this supercomputer, and the supercomputer was built to answer the most important question in the entire universe. And after thousands of years, it finally comes up with an answer, and the answer is 42. And everybody panics and is like, wait, well, what's the most important question? And it says, oh, I'll compute that in 2 million years. and then the society collapses and they all kill each other.
Well, there you go. It's the fucking, I already forgot. Number 42. Number 42.
There you go. Let's just leave it at that.
That's what I was trying to go with.
It's also the inauguration episode, technically.
Yes, it is. That is today. We officially have a new president. Or, as some people would believe, 2 new presidents. But, well, no, I guess one would be old in that case. But, no. We're there. We're there. We're done with some of that stuff, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I for one welcome whatever new lizard overlord we have, as long as they are beneficent and allow us to eat cake.
See, I just think we're really just that much closer to the Fallout timeline being real, because they had a double president situation going on there. If you go in and like hack a bunch of computers and like see all the backstory
really?
And all that bullshit. Yeah. So,
see, I didn't know that.
So well, I like the the Enclave in there. So they are technically nerd section. They are technically they are technically the real U.S. military.
Oh, see, I always thought they were scientists. I always thought they were a scientist splinter group.
That too, but no. So in 3, the one that takes place in D.C. If you go in and kind of hack enough computers, look up information and stuff. Also, if you have the DLC, you find out what actually happened was their nuclear war with China and whatever really starts to go bad. Like the president and some of his cabinet just disappear completely.
Huh.
And you find out that they actually, him and the
cabinet,
top of the military as well.
Yeah.
And so they actually just go to some secret base, and that becomes the Enclave.
Oh, okay. Is that why? I remember it's been so long since I played that. Is that why the what's it called? They have that one supercomputer AI who thinks he's alive, and he broadcasts stuff, and there's that option where you could give him a paradox. Is any of this ringing a bell? Do you remember this?
I think you're thinking of New Vegas. I think.
No, because I actually never played New Vegas all the way through, let alone most of it. But so I just remember in the Enclave, if you get to it, you can end up discovering the president, and he's the one who says I'm the president of the United States, kind of like that Nixon Futurama thing. And if you go in there, you actually figure out, and it's completely optional if I remember correctly. You don't actually have to find him, but when you do, it turns out he's this kind of Wizard of Oz character where nobody's allowed to see behind the curtain, except instead of being this old dude who can't do anything, he's actually just an AI who thinks that he's still the same dude. I'm totally remembering all this right now. And so you think he's the same dude, and if you have enough science and charisma, you can convince him that he's actually an AI and that he actually is not a human, and you get him, and he's like, well, how do you prove that? He's like, well, I'm gonna give you a paradox. You're not gonna think your way out of it. And you give him a paradox, and like he like melts down, the entire base explodes, and then you can't tune into the Enclave channel anymore.
Is
I
that the
totally remember this.
is that the DLC where you find like their base on an airstrip? It's like the old like one of those space shuttle trolleys
See,
or whatever.
I thought it was in the mountains, but yeah, that might have been it. It might have been DLC. I just don't remember because I might have gotten like when I was, God, that would have been high school. Like I would have gotten like the Ultimate Edition where it would just have included everything. Because at that point,
Yeah.
like right, DLC was like, oh, you buy the extra disc and install the extra content, or you buy the super disc and install everything at once. Because I definitely remember installing that.
Well, my copy was just on Steam, but yeah, it's the one where you have to like fight your way through the airport or airfield.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I
Yeah,
mean, again, it would have been like 10 years since I played it.
I never did the paradox thing. I just did the thing where like the missile goes up and then goes down and you have to run like a motherfucker. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see that's the part I don't remember. I guess I was more that part I guess might be was lost on me or I don't remember it as much. But
But yeah, so yeah, Fallout did everything political wise.
yeah,
They're,
they covered all the bases.
and then
Simpsons did
that's
it.
yeah, and then that's why they're not really in yeah. By the time New Vegas I guess is set later because like they're mostly all dead and
Yeah.
they're just like there's like four ex Enclave guys that you could find, and one of them's a potential teammate or whatever.
Hmm.
But he's a pain in the ass to get to
Did
and
you
easy
see
to
that
lose.
there did you see that there's apparently somebody did a massive overhaul mod of New Vegas where they added it's basically like a whole new game. I just saw this somewhere. I forget what it's called, but like somebody created something on Nexus Mods where it basically creates a whole new Vegas experience. And like did engine improvements too on top of everything, which is like blows my mind.
I wonder if they make it look like four at all. Probably not.
It doesn't really look like 4. It looks like a more polished 3, if anything.
So they probably just
Um,
reskinned the whole game,
yeah, I think so.
more or
And
less.
from from what the premise looks like, it looks like it's the Legion versus the Brotherhood of Steel. That's what the premise looks like it's set up to be.
Oh,
There might be other stuff going down in that, but basically Caesar's Legion versus the yeah. So I don't know. I never I know a lot of people consider New Vegas their favorite. Um, that was one I actually never had a chance to play, hilariously enough, just because I at that point I didn't own my own Xbox, and so most of the time whenever I was borrowing other people's stuff in college to play just to get some game time in, it was usually whatever games they had.
yeah.
So that was how I hilariously ended up playing almost all of the Gears of War series because Gears of War was huge where I went to school. We all love that shit and Halo. So I played the shit out of those two, but I never ended up playing Fallout 3
I remember one of my old
or
roommates
Vegas.
here had the Halo 4. I think it was. It was one of the later ones.
Yeah.
I got maybe like a third of the way through, but then he like stole his Xbox for like $50 because he was poor, and then left
Sad.
later. Like thanks. Could have
Thanks,
at least
asshole.
yeah. Could have at least let me finish the damn thing.
The worst instance of me not finishing a game, and this actually happened last year, hashtag 2020, right? So I was using Microsoft Game Pass for like the first time ever. And I really liked it because I was like, oh, okay, there's these cool games on here I can play. My computer's super powerful now, so I can run everything. And I loved the Metro series. So Metro
Mm.
2033, Metro Exodus, and Metro Last Light. Like all of that shit was amazing to me. I loved all of it. And I'm playing Exodus, which I think is let me make sure I'm not being an idiot. Metro Exodus.
They did
That's
come
the
out with
newest.
something new, didn't they?
Yeah, that was the newest
More
one. Yeah,
recently.
Metro.
Okay.
And the thing is that I loved the Metro games because like how gritty they were, like um the Russian. I love the Russian language, despite the fact that I'll never learn it. It just sounds beautiful to me. And I mean, I grew up. I really liked what is it? I wrote on Russian literature in college, even though again never studied the language. Um, And so and like the whole setting is just great. It's really cool. It's this like post-apocalyptic kind of grimdarky stuff. And in the new one, they basically created this like open world scenario where you're going from one open world region to another. So it's like pseudo open world, but it's very like just go wherever you want, really. And
Right.
it was amazing for something where their previous two games were very like you have to crawl through these very designed subway missions that you can't escape out of. They went to an open world concept and like fucking executed it perfectly. It was just so goddamn good. And the crafting was great. Like they added a whole crafting thing. I was so on board with fucking all of it. The storyline was great. The voice acting was awesome. Like was crushing this game. I was obsessed with it so much. And I get to the last level. And if you remember what I said before, I think some people will probably be like, "Oh, I know it's about to happen." So I get to the last level. Like I remember I brought my laptop over. We're staying with my in-laws, and I brought it over, and I'm on finishing the game. I'm on the last level, but it's like 2 in the morning. I've got like kids, so I'm like, okay, I can't stay up too late. I better hit the hay, and like I'll finish this tomorrow night. It'll be great. And tomorrow night rolls around, and I try to launch the game, and I'm getting this error message, and I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? And I try like looking at all these things, and I'm looking, and nobody's talking about error issues online. I'm like, what is happening? And I look, and it turns out that day is the day that Microsoft pulled that game off of Game Pass.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, are, what? Like, and like, I just was so like, I was so gutted. Like I was so emotionally invested in the end of this storyline and the end of this game. I put so many hours into it. I collected all this shit, and I was like, I had like this awesome kit, and I was like, just like ready to fucking go. And I was like, literally, I think I could have finished the game looking back on it if I had played an extra 30 minutes, maybe. And nope,
Not to be.
not to be. I I was that pissed me off so much because like you always get these advance warnings of like, oh, these games are joining Game Pass, but you almost never see like that, oh, these games are leaving. And like I saw nothing. I saw nothing on that game leaving. I was to this day the feels, the sadness.
Well, I pour one out, but I'm in my closet, so
I mean,
no.
I'm gonna pour one out into my own mouth.
Yeah,
That's
right.
how I
There
do
you
it.
go.
Speaking of pouring one out, what are you
So
drinking?
today we got. This is from Adroit Theory Brewing.
Hmm.
It is the Down to Die EBK Imperial
That
Pale.
that looks fucking sick. That is one of the coolest can designs I've ever seen. Adroit Theory by ABK or vice versa,
Adroit
or
Theory.
Adroit Theory Brewery.
Let me. Yeah, Adroit Theory Brewing Company out of DC, actually.
Yeah, it looks like Purcellville, Virginia. So like right around the DC area, but basically DC at that point, I think.
This
Damn,
guy's
that's a
8%.
cool ass looking thing.
And what's interesting is this can also has
Nice.
food pairings on it too and stuff. So
Oh,
apparently,
really? You don't see that too often.
apparently this beer pairs well with Taiwanese oxtail ramen with sous-vide egg, or
Okay.
Kirkham's Lancashire cheese, or Casa Fernandez Aganorsa Miami Maduro cigar, or all three.
I
I
mean,
guess.
that actually kind of sounds awesome. I would want to do all of those things. It makes me wonder if did that happen because those guys who brewed it just loved all those things and actually legitimately believe it pairs that well, or are they like doing like a cooperative deal where they're like, hey, you want to be mentioned in our beer?
Yeah,
You know,
I'm sure it's just like a friend or something like that.
maybe I don't
But I
know.
mean,
Their beer list is also insane. If you check out their beer list, it's like they have like there's the EVK, but like holy shit, they have like, and I mean it's probably a lot of these are probably seasonal, but
oh yeah.
I'm counting at least like unless it's repeating accidentally. No, it looks like there's like they have 100 different beers they make.
Well, I also noticed that a lot of the
Wow.
breweries that are featured on the app that I use, uh,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them do like a lot of limited runs, where like they just
Mm.
do like this thing where they put out like a big batch and then just that's it, right? And
Yeah.
it's always some weird name. So that's probably what you're seeing
Yeah,
there.
because I'm seeing like release 2, release 4. Okay, yeah. Some of these are repeat names, but they have a different ghost or batch number or something.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
If it works, it works. I know there's another there's one brewery that I kind of wanted to that they haven't had that much of. There was a New York brewery called ETC, and they
Okay.
do like a lot of crazy seltzers too
Oh, really?
on top of the beers. Like yeah, like actually I might be able to. Oh, because I also follow all
ETC,
these.
ETC Brewing.
Let me.
Not ETX Brewing?
No, where the fuck is it?
Because I'm not seeing ETC Brewing.
Evil Twin Brewing.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I'm getting that for sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So they literally have they just put out just a fuck ton of just all kinds of different experimental stuff. Like here I got right here. They have a exotic banana cinnabon uh, brew.
And is that a beer or
That's
a
a stout.
seltzer?
That's a stout.
Well, see, stouts you can get away with stuff,
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that. Like I feel like
Or here they get and then
they literally have one called. Oh, go for it.
they looking at a sour ale that's mango, pineapple, vanilla, and chili.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Maybe or maybe not. Who knows? And actually, the beer that I had originally gotten from them through the app, like how I found
Mm-hmm.
out about it, it was like a sour ale mixed with energy drink,
Whoa.
which I wasn't expecting whenever I actually you know tried it the first time. I was like, what the fuck is this? But I also
Looks like
don't. Yeah.
they have a cookies and cream imperial stout, which that just sounds delicious.
Oh yeah.
They have a double riced raspberry. I don't think I've ever had a riced, if that's a category of beer.
Well,
For
Bud
those
Light.
wondering, we like drinking it. We're not experts. Yeah.
I mean, Bud Light's
Uh,
rice.
they have a beer.
So,
I guess that's true. Well, no, riced. It was like Rystee.
oh, I don't know what the
It
fuck
was
that
like a
is.
type. Yeah, same here. Maybe there's one hilariously called No Socializing Anytime. It's a pale ale. Let me see what that rice one was. Maybe it was something and I was just was being stupid. Where did it go? Damn, they have a lot.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure it's the same deal too, where they just like make a batch like, whatever, like they're making the fucking Powerpuff Girls, and then they just send it out, and that's it. And maybe they'll come
So
back
the
to it every once
riced
in a while.
one, the riced one I was looking at is a milkshake IPA. Brewed with peach, blackberry, vanilla, and milk sugar, dry hopped with mosaic hops for subtle blueberry and pine accents. Tastes like blackberry jam, ripe peaches, and vanilla. 7.5, and it's an IPA milkshake style, which probably means that they throw some dairy in there,
Oh yeah, it's probably got
I
some
would
lactose
imagine.
or something.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds fucking delicious. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I'd try all of these.
I
I've
mean,
so far I've only ever gotten like one that I wasn't into. I got one still sitting in my fridge. It's like a fuck, like banana coconut, but it's not a
hmm,
stout. It's sort of just like a
really?
regular ale. So yeah, it's kind of nasty. It's not that good. If it was a stout, that would have been perfect. But
that probably would have worked. But I mean, like the only other thing I can think of you could get away with that would be like sours or not lagers, because lagers have to be a certain way. It would be more like maybe an IPA. You could like there's some IPAs that do some fruit or like aromatic shit that actually do it well. Where you what is it the like the one that I'm thinking of, just off the top of my head, probably because it's one of the more popular brands, is the Tangerine Express IPA by Stone.
mm,
Like that one you can actually straight up drink. Like you can be like, oh, there's some straight up tangerine in this shit. Like, and that's one of the things that always drives me crazy is like whenever there's a beer and it's like, oh, we've got these flavors, and you try it and you're like, dude, this thing's not even that good, and I don't taste those flavors at all. You know, like come on.
well, this wasn't any of that. It was, it was like more like a coconut lager. Oh no! It was coconut cream pie. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. I
But
mean,
it was like a regular beer. So
see, yeah, you can't do.
yeah,
I mean, I feel like you have to be like technically perfect to do that.
like the first couple sips were okay, and then after that, it's just like, what am I doing with my life?
Damn. Well, yeah. So anyway, check out Evil Twin Brewery in NYC, eviltwin.nyc/beers. Holy shit, there's a ton of stuff here. Like, this is also for me a kick in the ass where it's like I can't keep showing up to these with Vizzies. I got to go get a bottle. I got to go get a beer, which actually will be good because after I get through this hellish work month that I'm in right now, I'm planning on trying to cut
Stock up.
back and lose some weight and get in shape and shit. Stock up, right? No, so I something that I think would actually get me to do that is like, hey, like I have to quit drinking for a while, technically, but if I'm like, oh, I only have one beer when we're doing the jankety ass cast, then there you go, and I'll actually go out and get something nice because it's the only beer I'm getting the week. So
A little visit to Bevmo, I guess, in your case.
yeah, Total Wine actually for me that's the closer one. Actually, I like both. They're good. They're both good. Both is good.
The only thing that does kind of suck is whenever they deliver, there's no whatchamacallit. Obviously, like the first time they try, they just kind of like pick a date for you.
Oh, really? I mean, I've never actually
Yeah,
done delivery with them,
and
either of them.
you have to, and of course somebody has to sign off every
Yeah.
time. But I think like the last one is like, okay, cool. Well, I'm out of town for a week, so I guess I'll see you guys later.
Oh, and that because that's the delivery for your program that you do,
Yeah.
where like they send you shit. Okay. Yeah, because like the only time I ever did alcohol delivery is when I was living downtown, and I'd get Drizzly, which I think is specific to California, but they may have branched out since. But basically,
Probably.
it's basically like Uber Eats meets, which I hate saying that. It's the Uber of this. It's basically like Uber Eats meets or fucking
Uber
what's it
West.
called?
No.
Yeah, Uber West. No, no, not East. No, what's that one?
Actually,
Postmates.
oh, yeah.
It's like Postmates meets Bevmo or Total Wine or something. You browse like shit you like. It pings you to a liquor or two, and it's actually not bad price wise. It's pretty good.
I think we're having some video problems here.
Oh, there we go. I
It's a
think
little.
yeah, you were
There we go.
delayed for a second, but hey, I think we're doing better than we have with
But no,
Discord.
you were delayed for a second.
Oh,
I also got myself a Wi-Fi extender and plugged it into my room here.
nice.
Not well, it's at my desk where I normally sit, not in here, but
Oh, well then, pointless but
still,
nice.
well no, it's still like it's still like 5 feet away,
Eh,
so it's not yeah.
less than pointless, but also nice.
I'm hoping that hoping I'm hoping that'll help more whenever I do the my Twitch stream stuff since right now like the only since I do it through the PS4 and like it kind of selects the best setting, but that's only like
Hmm.
540 or something like that, and then
Yeah.
even then like some of the times it comes in like all blocky and stuff, which isn't very exciting.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I like to take my glasses off and watch Twitch streams and kind of just guess what's happening. So that could appeal to some people.
Yeah, right. But and maybe it'll help me from my keep my broadcast from dropping every once in a while, which has been good so far. But I also have to like not do it when I'm trying to upload something else to YouTube or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Uploading, like downloading, you can have a queue of that. People get in line all day. But if you're doing any kind of upload, you gotta like basically walk around the house like it's AOL times and be like, get off the internet. I gotta upload some shit. Like
No,
you can't use the phone right now. I gotta use the dial-up.
no, but I don't know. I've been fine so far, but I also literally just plugged that in and set it up before
Yeah,
this, so we'll see. We'll see what happens,
yeah. There you go.
or maybe I'll get lucky and win that 1.5 billion or whatever that the lottery's at now.
Yeah, something crazy. It was like when I actually bought lotto tickets just for fun. They haven't even announced the Powerball for today yet. But yeah, the current what is it? When I looked at it,
One's at like 700 and one's at like 900.
the Mega Millions is at 900, the Powerball is at 7. So I bought one of both. So if I win both, this podcast is about to get like a hell of a lot more production value. Cheers to that.
Well, I need a few more armies. So there you
Just
go.
a few. Dude, I could buy you the actual count of how many of those models exists in the 40K lore with that kind of cash.
Yeah, right. Assuming they're in stock at the moment, but not
Yeah,
so
at that
much.
point I would. Yeah, not so much.
I did see they have some new couple new AOS things coming out real soon here too that look kind of interesting, at least from
Yeah,
like
they
the two vampire lords and then the elves riding dinosaur things or whatever.
they were kangaroos actually. They're riding kangaroos.
Yeah, but they got horns though, so it's a little bit
They're
different.
mystical kangaroos.
There you go.
It's like unicorns, but kangaroos.
Uniroos.
Think, or you know what? It's like actually they're riding jackalopes. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Straight up, they're straight up mega jackalopes that they're riding. But
Good for them.
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. That's just I just need more money. That's what that is. Straight. Okay, still there. Uh, let's see what else happened. Oh yeah, I did have a I did have a an album submission for today, but I left it in my car, so that's gonna have to be for next time.
nah, man,
I
we
do.
can't play the ball no more.
Yeah, right. I do have Oh, actually, I might as well say this. Another one that I found out about actually yesterday, like right after we finished, was I don't know if you've heard the band Love and Death.
Mm, I want to say no.
So it's Head from Korn, one of their guitarists.
What?
Yeah. So he
Oh
so
yeah, I recognize him instantly.
yeah, just anyone with dreads, right? But no, he
Yeah.
so apparently he started that he did that band like they released an album like it was either 2012 or 2014,
hmm
like a long time ago. I guess while he was still in Korn.
Yeah, I'm looking at their albums right now. They released an album in 2013. Yeah, it's called Between Here and Lost.
Yeah, that was the last one that they had a while ago, and then he left to go to rehab, and
Damn.
then did a solo album, which is also decent, but
Okay.
so then yeah, like he did all that, got better, got back into Korn, and then now he reformed this band with at least one member from Breaking Benjamin too, and so that's coming out next month.
Huh.
And it's still, I mean, it's still kind of like the same sort of like like that genre of metal sounds. So it's not like the heavy stuff, it's more mainstream, but it's pretty damn good. At least what they got out so far.
Yeah. For me, something. Let's see. Something. What is it? Something that I have been loving recently is Heaven Shall Burn. You hear them? You hear this? You heard about this?
Have you heard this? Have you heard
Well,
about this?
you heard this? You heard about this? No. So Heaven Shall Burn.
Heaven shall be.
They
That sounds familiar.
are. I'm scrolling down to their artist description. There we go. So they're what is it? They're a German. They're basically German death metal,
Of course.
which is amazing, and they have some kind of industrial ties, very like some melodic influences too. Um, yeah, they used to have a good summary on here. They don't. Anyway, so Of Truth and Sacrifice is an album that they released in 2020 that I fuck like that was the first thing I ever heard of them, and I just like fucking fell in love. I think I'd heard like maybe a couple other tracks from them before, probably off of like what is it? I'd heard one track off of Vito, one track off of a couple tracks off of what's it called? Iconoclast,
Yeah.
like Black Tears and stuff like that. But like once I heard of Truth and Sacrifice, I just dove head into their discography. I just loved it. It's been on the screamier side, not like screamo by any means, but like a little more harsh vocals. I know sometimes people's metal taste can change based on the kind of vocals, so just throwing that out there. But but yeah, no, they're just super high energy, just like super intense. Like I listen to them when I'm playing Apex all the time. It's great.
Yeah, I've got these guys on my list. I remember them now. I haven't really heard them yet so much,
I remember.
but my list means that I'll get to them
Oh yeah,
someday before I die, hopefully.
someday before he dies, hopefully. But yeah,
Which will be right now. No.
and smitten. Yeah. Aside from that, though, I guess bands that have been around for a while that I've been just kind of like listening to again, aside from Cybreed, which I mentioned last time,
Of course.
Scar Symmetry kind of jumped into them for a bit. They're always fun to listen to. Threat Signal, they're fun. What else? Oh, and one of my personal favorite death metal bands of all time, Dyscarnate. Just like Jesus Christ, they're so good. It's three guys who, when you listen to them, it's literally a guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer, and you listen to them, and their power is so fucking raw. It sounds like they have at least two or three other band members. Like I did not realize there were only three members of this band until watching one of their music videos, which made the sound like I mean like at first like oh cool it's just three guys, and then watching them actually play it and like the energy they put into it, even just in a basic music video, and it wasn't too flashy or gitsy. It just oh my gosh, it made you want to rock even harder. It was just so good. They only have two albums, which is a crime against humanity. But the album that I personally find is their best one is their most latest one called With All Their Might, and just some absolute bangers on that, man. Just such good shit.
I'm only seeing. Oh, they've only got like one on iTunes. It's an EP.
Which one?
Embraced by Death.
Embraced by
2015.
Death. I don't even think I. Huh.
Unless
Okay.
there's like another band with the same name.
Did you spell discarnate with a
With an
Y?
E.
D
Oh, with a Y?
D DYS carnate.
That I have not heard.
They're fucking solid. I highly recommend them. Um,
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, this looks familiar.
yeah, I think I might have mentioned them to you before,
I
but
think I have them on my list too.
yeah, I mentioned them to you before, I think. But again, I'm just kind of upset because it's been going on near 4 years since we've gotten a new album, and just everything they've done has been getting progressively better. So, like, come on, man, I want some new shit.
Happens. Oh, and speaking of music, nothing we're talking about. I was surprised that the whiskey down in Hollywood is still it's still there.
The Whiskey A Go Go?
Yeah,
Oh, you mean
even now.
like they haven't gotten shut down because of COVID, like they're out of business, kind of a thing?
No, I mean like they haven't folded or whatever.
Well, yeah,
It's
that's what I mean. Like they haven't got COVID.
yeah, exactly. So because the thing
Okay.
they're independent, so they don't really have like a lot to fall back on like most other venues do. Like my work venue, for instance, has
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
who do they have? Your work venue.
Well, I work for them, so technically I won't say, but it's
Oh, right. Never
yeah.
mind.
Well, my work venue is operated by a company that's all the U.S. They don't
So
so
they've
that
got like
yeah
funds that they can pour in to keep it going. Yeah, that
yeah
makes sense.
they've got enough to pay the rent, which is
Yeah.
a decent amount because I know like
I
the
mean,
yeah
if they're making money, I mean, like if as much as horrible as it is, so many small businesses and venues going under with COVID, like unfortunately there are I mean, and not unfortunately because like they don't deserve it, maybe some don't, but like there are other companies that are just doing insanely well because of it or have risen because of COVID. So it's like it's this really weird economic shift like to look at really. And so yeah, that totally makes sense that like your venue, wherever it is, like is fine because they're owned by a parent company that maybe is probably still doing okay, you know?
yeah it's something there.
Meanwhile, like I think the whiskey probably is doing okay just because it's a pretty popular venue. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had like they probably did a fundraiser and it got all they needed for the year. Like or something like that.
Possibly. I know that they had also done like some like the occasional live stream type of
Well, there
thing,
you go.
but
Yeah, selling tickets.
that's still kind of few and far between.
Yeah, I think I know
However,
like a bunch of comedy clubs down in Hollywood did something like that.
they were no they were just open for a while until more recently.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Not
that. I thought
inside,
they were.
but like the well the comedy store at least. Actually, that was the only one. Like they were actually doing shows that were streaming into the parking lot there
Oh,
along the
okay. So
side.
then probably it was. So then like you could show up for free, but hey, leave a tip, leave a donation, kind of a thing.
Oh no, you
upright
still
tip.
had to pay. Like they would rope off
Oh, okay.
and everything like that. But yeah, so they kept well. So at first, what they were doing was they were having the shows out of the original room window, which is you know like that front patio that they have there. I don't know if you've been over there in a while.
I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know it off the top of my head. But
But
I
yeah,
mean, sure, front patio.
yeah. So they have a patio out front. Actually, I wonder. No, never mind. So they have a patio out front, which and then the original room, which normally you would go up the stairs and then kind of come through the whenever you're looking at the stage on the like to the audience's left, there's a window that
Hmm.
looks out onto the front patio from upstairs. And so for a while, they were just doing the shows where they were just where the comedians were just in that window, and then of course they had the speakers and everything going outside. Well, that was apparently not kosher for
Oh no.
either L.A. County or the governor or whatever. And then so then they were doing it where they were just like having a projector out on the parking lot and had tables set up out there. And then they got dinged for that because it was apparently like
Fucking
promoting
stupid.
promoting outdoor gathering or some bullshit like that. But then they had also were starting to do in business where they would stream like the basketball games and stuff too. But apparently that was okay.
Hmm.
So it's like,
That's
yeah,
yeah, that's a lot of the inconsistency that California has been doing that has been just pissing so many people off. Like there was that I mean that viral video that went around, and actually what's funny is I'd actually not to that restaurant, but I'd been right next to that restaurant. So
oh, the
I
French
the second I
Laundry
saw it, I was
thing.
like, no. Well, the French Laundry thing is something fucking else. That's the whole like, oh, we're in power. I'm gonna make rules that apply to you, but not to
Yeah.
me, because I don't actually give a shit about what I'm trying to peddle here. Um, and though it was this place, it was this I think it was a Hawaiian fusion restaurant, and this lady was like, she has this whole patio set up. This is after the second lockdown, and she's like, this is my restaurant. I followed all the rules. I've done everything, and you
Oh,
shut me down again. And then she turns the camera and she's like, look at this. This is outside eating arrangement. Like it's the exact same thing. It's in the parking lot, except that's owned by a movie studio for their catering for the actors and the extras to go sit down and eat. But that was okay. But she, if she tried to operate, would get fined. But they could eat there, and so it was just like it was literally the most like poignantly stagnant like case of just hypocrisy regarding how this thing is handled among so many in California. Like I know certain states have their own issues and non-issues with it, and like you could be on any side of the fence, but like man alive, man, like I don't care if you're the most strict like lockdown person of all time. The way California has handled this has been just utter and complete bullshit.
yeah.
Just, just completely fucked. Like they have not thought through anything past the second month, like at all. Like none, nada, zip, not at all.
Well, I mean,
Stupidest thing.
yeah. Well, it's not even so much that it's more that they didn't at all think about, yeah, like the economic side of anything,
Yeah,
like at
they
all.
didn't. I mean, yeah, and not to mention which it's like it's like one of the stupidest things is like if you want people to do something, you have to give them incentive. And that doesn't have to mean like payouts. It could be like, hey, if you follow these guidelines, we're going to cut your tax back by like half or give you some kind of other thing or maybe you do support payouts and stimulus bills. Like I don't give a shit. But it was all stick and no carrot because the carrot was we'll beat the virus. Well, clearly that didn't happen. And at the same time, it's also like, well, yeah, there's a virus out there, but I gotta eat fucking today. Like I gotta, so a lot of people have families, a lot of people have like they're already in debt and they're barely clinging on and they lost all of the three jobs that they're working. And then you have a federal government that clearly didn't give a fuck about any of us. Like I mean, they really this year showed 2020 showed anything. It was the year that we just finally saw the like just the
Yeah.
absolute naked not giving a shit of the entire federal government. They're just caught up in their own fucking goddamn world, and like we can all. Okay, I'm gonna stop myself there. I've ranted enough. I'm gonna go. I've been enough of a you know old miser about this. Long story short, lots of people are leaving California for a reason, and there's like over 2 million people recalling Governor Newsom also for that same reason. So,
And we're still be here to pick up the pieces and all the
yep,
money, hopefully.
yep,
So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how things work, especially in my case, since I'm kind of sort of trying to eventually break into the whole comedy thing now that almost everybody, a lot of people have, a lot of big names have left town.
yeah,
So like obviously everybody knows the whole Rogan thing. He's out in Texas now,
Texas.
and yeah, a few others. I know Segura and Christina, they're leaving.
Really.
Yeah, they're also going to Austin
Did they
as
talk
well.
about that recently on
Yeah,
their
they put out a thing. They're like, yeah, we finally decided we've got a house picked out and all that
damn.
stuff. So
Like, the thing is, you don't need to like. There was this idea, right? Like, you had to be in like New York or Hollywood to get into film and acting, right? And that's kind of changing. You really don't. Um, I mean,
Well, yeah.
you just show enough. You show enough talent, and you show up to whatever audition it is, whatever, however the format is. You're fine.
Well, not exactly, because the thing is they're not trying to get into anything anymore. They've been in.
Oh yeah, no, true. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking of I'm still even thinking of people who are trying to get in. Like for example, my sister's a writer, and she wants to get into writing TV and maybe even one day film. But she does, and she moved to LA partly for that reason, is to be near the industry. But the way things are, she doesn't actually like and the way she's been working that angle, she doesn't need to be around here anymore to do that. You know, she could just do everything, online or remotely and stuff like that.
Well, I'm also already here, so.
There you go.
And
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying you got to leave to do it. I'm just saying you don't have to be here to do it. But like but for you to do local stand up with all like less big people like that, of course that's better for you. You know, it's easier to cultivate a local following for sure.
Yeah. Well, and I mean the thing is like the only way to. Oh,
Oh, hang on. I think I did something bad.
you stopped. Host has stopped your video.
Uh-oh, you can
You
turn it
son
back
of a
on.
bitch.
I was doing it because your video was frozen, so I thought I was trying to reset it. Oh no. Well, this is me, everybody,
Yep, that's you.
in my glory. Here, hang on a second. Speaker view. I'm gonna ask you to start your video again, sir.
Start my video. There we go. Should have said no. uh,
Well,
but
at least that technical difficulty was my fault. I don't know why I can't see your video, but whatever.
oh, you can't still.
No, you're a blank screen. But if you could see me and if you could see yourself, then it doesn't matter.
I can see you. Yeah. I
Yeah, no,
wonder.
that might be something on my end. I mean, who knows? As long as you're getting the good recording, it's fine by me. I'll just I'll just talk to the wall like I always do.
This is why we need to. That's why I need to get a real studio eventually. But hey,
Well, at the end of the day, too, I mean, this is actually working out a lot. Generally speaking, a lot better for us than what we've been using previously. Like, because I feel like the entire couple times before, I had to like wait a half second to be like, wait, is he done or is he lagging, and then respond. And I feel like we're able to be a lot more back and forth here. So
yeah, this is faster. That's
yeah,
good.
so we got that going for us, which is nice.
Uh, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, but as far as like to actually start in stand up, the only way to really get anywhere in it is to have the practice, which if you're in some other state that doesn't really maybe has like a club that just kind of gets like a few big acts every once in a while, you're not going to get the reps in or anything like that. Whereas
Yeah,
like here or New York, there's you know hundreds of places. Well, not so much hundreds, but a lot of places that you can go. Not at the moment, obviously,
yeah.
but eventually. Which is funny too, because like I did try looking up like places that might whenever they were still allowing outdoor stuff. I was looking up like places that would do open mics, and of course, like the same with gyms. The first thing that they like forget to deal with is the websites.
Mm.
So everything's all old information.
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple times with various things. It's been like, ugh, like I want to throw money at you. Just tell me when I can do that correctly.
Yeah. But no, like I remember I looked at a couple of open mic directories or
Hmm.
whatever that I guess like people can submit to. And I remember the only one that I could find that was like actually open was like there was one mic. It's like we're a progressive safe space to do your like. Well, I'm not going there. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, I'm going the traditional route of comedy, which
Yeah,
is to
right.
offend people,
Call
tastefully offend people.
like call one person a cunt and they'll try to uh, cancel you before you're even a real thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
Uh, I gotta ask, so, like for me, like I've always loved comedy. I've
of
always
course.
loved for us, like a big part of my family's relationship with each other is quoting and referencing like movies that we love, like anything from Blazing Saddles to UHF to like Woody Allen movies, like
So
just
just
it's
Napoleon Dynamite, in other words.
shut up, you fat lard. No, no, Napoleon Dynamite was gold, but different. Um, no, what I'm but my ultimately it's like for me like when it came to just being funny or like trying to make people laugh, I always found like I prefer doing that in like the moment, like contextually, and the idea of like writing material. I mean, maybe I could now because like at this point, like life sucks and we can all die, and so it's like, why, sure, why not? I might as well try it. But like for the longest time, I always thought like, man, I couldn't write my own material because like I'm not somebody who easily like create something like unique. I'm one of those people that can just like jump in and I'll be like, "Oh, this thing already exists. I have so many cool ideas of what I can do with it." Like I never would have thought to create Legos, but I know exactly what I could do with Legos that maybe nobody else has done, kind of thing. And I don't mean shove them up my ass because somebody's done that. But but for you, for example, like I ultimately this is getting to like how do you like just how do you get around the writing block, like, right, like how do you write material? Is it like this kind of just like you absorb the universe and just whatever you feel like you write out, or what's your writing process?
Well, I don't have a block, first of all, so that's number
That's
one.
good.
Right
That's
there. Yeah.
I heard that helps.
Well,
Little low key flexing, but all right, just a font of creativity.
so at least in my case, like I don't know, like my brain now naturally just kind of like, well, what's the funny thing going on here, you know?
Yeah,
And then it's like that and a mix of like what has somebody like already done? Don't do that.
yeah,
And then at least in my case, like I have to write down like everything that I would say. Like I can't. I know a lot of people. Well, you have a lot of people like you'll hear about like, oh, I just write on stage, whatever,
yeah,
or they'll just write down like ideas here and there. But like whenever I have I have some bits written down, but like I literally have everything written down like exactly as I would say it, and then of course I could change it up or whatever.
so
That's just what works for me
so
so
you like
far.
operate it because like for me I feel like I'd be like the opposite, where I'd maybe have a way I'd say it a lot, but I want to like play around with it. So like instead of having a script like that would maybe be more detailed, like it sounds like you're saying, I would for me I'd probably go bullet points, where it's like, all right, so here's the bullet point. You're used to telling this joke or you're used to telling this story. Just don't forget these key points, or else it doesn't fucking land. You know?
Well, yeah, I've had to do it more script like, otherwise I would forget like actual words, or I would just get lost because I mean the thing is too, like at the end of the day you have to uh so I just said a bunch of words without thinking just now, but
I mean, hey, that's what I
well,
do most of
yeah,
my day every day.
exactly. There's the point because otherwise you'll just kind of like, well, because yeah, in my case, unless I have it like written down in front of me, I'll either just like go into a dead end tangent like I just did,
Yeah,
or I won't be able to come up with what I'm saying at all. Like
yeah,
yeah, like with the little ad that I've got in here so far, I had to write that down. Like I tried doing it a few times, just kind of off of the top of my head or whatever, and just didn't work.
yeah. No, I get
Yeah.
that for sure. Yeah.
And then of course, obviously, whenever you go up, you can't just be like sitting here reading off the phone or
Yeah.
anything like that. But
Did you hear the one about the walrus and the octopus's garden? And Cheez-Its. Oh fuck. No, it's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's not like that.
And I mean, obviously, that being said, if you're at like in like an open situation, like in a open mic situation, or even just just kind of like a regular night, even at a club or whatever, it's not unheard of to be like, all right, what's my thing next year? Okay, here we go. It's only
Yeah.
really if you're in like a a main show, or like a feature, or like a yeah, like a
You're at
featured show
you're
or
at
whatever.
you're like a
Then
headliner
yeah,
of some kind.
yeah, you better, or yeah, anything with a headliner.
Yeah.
So like a main room act or whatever. Then yeah, you gotta memorize your stuff, even if it's only like a decent 5 minutes or
Hey
whatever.
man, there's nothing like a
But
tight five. You get a good tight five. That's I mean that's half of people's attention spans on this planet. You know.
but so no, someday. But yeah, if you're just working stuff out, then whatever.
Yeah.
And then of course, obviously now I haven't really had any reason to write anything, but it still comes to me. I still put down a few things here and there.
That's good. I mean, and that's obviously like or honestly, what you all you can do at this point, right? Like you were saying, it's like,
Yeah.
let. And at that point too, it's kind of like what we're doing tonight. We're recording ahead, right? It's like, oh well, there you're writing ahead. So when you finally get to that moment where you're like, oh yeah, I'm writing all this shit, and I've got all these ideas, and I've got some new ideas. You can look back on your catalog of stuff you've been writing down, and you'll be like, oh, well, this is good, or maybe this is not great, but I can actually make it good if I do this. So I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, nothing wrong with writing it down. And
Yeah.
hilarious. Anybody who knows me, I have a fucking terrible time doing that. I'm a terrible note taker. I always learn shit by like doing it firsthand, but which
I
really
mean,
helped with
yeah.
nothing.
I mean, definitely in this case, like I do have to write it down, otherwise it'll
Oh yeah,
eventually go away. I mean, I definitely had like some decent bits that I thought of that I kind of forgot
oh yeah,
already.
yeah. No, it
Yeah.
happens. Like there have been some times where like I'll be like waxing philosophical or something, and I'll be kind of drunk, and I'll think of something. I'll be like, oh my god, this is like insane that I thought of this, blah blah. And maybe it's really not, but like I won't write it down, and then like a day later I'll be like, wait, what was that thing I thought was really cool? And I'll be like, I don't remember. Yeah, fuck me, you know, like you know. So I get that.
I will say also, another thing that's definitely helped me is I've definitely found that doing edibles definitely helps me think of things that I wouldn't have otherwise thought of, or at least
You
maybe
get
they're hilarious when I'm high. But
high thoughts, yeah. Well, and
yeah,
I mean, what is it? It's the same thing people say when what is it? It's make what is it? Think of ideas when you're drunk because if they're good when you're sober, they're good, or something like that. It's like I totally get that, and that's it's part of the process, right? It kind of like you kind of relax, you kind of find your Zen moment, you kind of cut back, you're able to like stand apart from whatever it is because that's all comedy is, right? Comedy is a standing apart from something and being like, hey, look at this
yes,
fucking shit, right? Like this is fucking weird, right? Or this is fucking horrible, but we can laugh at it, or any number of things. But you're apart from the thing you're talking about, and that's part of the reason why, like, I think like being drunk or being high are great ways to like hell even just make people laugh around you because at that point that's what everybody is. It's like everyone's like just departed from that. Like how many memes exist of like stoner thoughts, right? It's
a
or
lot,
like yeah, exactly. I mean,
most.
yeah, it's like, hey man, if the control key is at the bottom of the keyboard, is anything really under control? It's like shit, like stupid puns and play on concepts like that.
Well, I mean that's why what am I trying to say? Well, that's kind of what I would say that art is in general too, because like most people, well, I mean, everybody has like their own ideas about like what art is and what comedy is. Everybody say like, oh, it's like comedy is just something that's funny. or art's that something that's beautiful. Well, that's really not true.
Not always.
Well, no.
Yeah.
So what I would say art is something that makes you feel something, not necessarily what you want to feel.
Yeah, it brings out
Yeah.
some emotion in you because of something. And that's right. That's why there's this idea of like beauty is in the beholder. Well, it's actually, I think it would be better refined to say like art is in the beholder. So like something is art, but what you feel from that is really particular to everyone. And that's why art is also in a lot of ways subjective, because some people are like, yeah, I don't get anything from this. This doesn't do it for me. You know, it's like, you know, uh, but we at the same time, there's also this desire or this like need of us to be like, no, but we can't objectively say that this is fucking good art, whether you feel anything or not, and this is fucking bad art. Like for example, uh, this is a stupid example, but Mad Max Fury Road.
Hmm.
I fucking loved that movie. I thought it was excellently well done. It was great, blah 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 blah. And my older brother, who studies cinematography to a degree, he's studied photography too, but he's not those things, but he has an appreciation. He didn't like the movie. Like he didn't think it was funny. He didn't think it was great. He didn't think it was like. But what he did really like is he's like, I have to say it was technically perfect. Like it was incredibly well executed, incredibly filmed, just like banger of a movie. I just didn't like it, and he was able to make that distinction of like, this is something good that I don't personally get anything out of. And I think that's where people have the problem of being like, this is art because I feel good about it, and therefore everyone should. Well, it's like, no, it may just not be art and you're an idiot, or it may be art and you're just being idiotic and making all of us subject to your emotions. You know?
Well, I mean, I also kind of say that too is more like a opposition to like the feel good people who
Feel good.
yeah, that like they think art's like a bunch of flowers or like some angel wings painted on the side of the building and post bullshit inspirational quotes all over the place. Like no, that's not that's just a piece of the pie.
I mean,
You
but
know
if
what
we
I
don't
mean?
have those, yeah, but if we don't have those signs, how can you live, laugh, and love? Am I right?
Well, you
Just
can't
saying.
and you shouldn't. But
Should fucking die.
well, I mean the point being too like even if you're talking about art like if you see something like oh that like makes like this painting or whatever makes me angry or something like that like well that was the point.
Yeah, and that
That's
that's
the
that's
art.
usually that's usually what it is, right?
Yeah.
The artist generally has an intention of what they're trying to convey. You know, I mean, that gets even more complicated when you talk about art, literature, right? If literature is a form of art, or if it's something related to, that's a whole other ball game. Like, shit, I don't even think I'm qualified to talk about that without having another beer in me.
Well, you can definitely have like not good literature either though
Oh, yeah,
too. Yeah.
like anything. Oh my God, or like for example, anything that redoes the motif of young teen thinks they're not special, discovers world of magic, discovers school of magic, discover like, okay, Harry Potter did it and they did it well, and you know what, good for them, that was great. Everything else is like fucking it's repeating. Okay, it's like, god damn it. Like we covered this topic. There's no variation of this that will genuinely convince me that it deserves its own anthology. Okay, like we're done. Like, get over it. It's like
I
all these
take
this
I take it you're thinking of that
oh
the Boy Who Would Be King movie that they tried coming out with.
actually no, I'm thinking of the literal four different shows on Netflix that have the exact plot that I've talked about. Like the this new one that's coming out, like Winx something, like it's I don't even remember what it's called. It sounded so stupid. The Magicians, which I know people like
Mm.
because maybe they redo characters, but it's the same goddamn concept. It really fucking is. And then there's another one that's basically like that. It's like this girl who's like, Secret World of Magic. Oh my god, you guys! And it's like, fuck. Like, I'm so done with this. So done with this scripted approach. And I mean, like, we already have too many teen dystopian movies. Like, right? Like, and that's a whole genre. Like, why does everything have to be young adult? Like, God, so dumb. Like, it's just so
or
frustrating.
yeah, I've also always had a problem with anything where it's like, oh, kids save the world, like that, and
Yeah, because
that's
that
even before the last few years. Like,
I know. Right?
yeah,
like I mean, just most of the kids I knew, right? Like most and myself as a kid, no fucking way I'm
couldn't
saving the
save a
planet.
$1.50, let
Yeah,
alone the world. Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't do it. I mean, I could barely do it now as a self-proclaimed fully functioning adult,
Yeah.
and not to mention which, like, it's just math, right? You get, let's say you get that young adult teen person who can save the world and is actually that talented. Then you're telling me that everything just happens to luckily happen in their favor where they can do so? Fuck no. Whatever evil power or evil thing is at work or catastrophe doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
You're subject to math, bitch. Like, you're gonna die. Like everybody else died. There's no reason you're gonna survive.
Yeah, pretty much anything after the Goonies was bullshit.
Goonies never say die, man.
Exactly.
That movie was fan fucking tastic, and a lot of famous people in it too.
I bet hell, I bet people would have taken what's her face, Greta Thunberg, more seriously if there weren't so many bullshit Hollywood movies
You
where
know what? Yeah,
kids probably save the world
I totally
or
agree.
have you. among
It,
other things.
yeah, I mean, yeah, seriously,
That and she's
I could
also
totally
like
be,
not from the U.S. or whatever too, so I'm sure that
yeah,
affects a lot of people's. That's a
yeah.
different
Well,
story.
hey, she called a bunch of world leaders selfish assholes, so of course they're gonna tell their constituents that don't listen to her.
True.
We allowed this to happen so we could have this semblance of communication and dialogue, and now we don't give a fuck. Get out of our G20 summit.
I think you froze up on me again here. Oh, froze. Ah. Shit.
Are you listening to this show and thinking, man, I'd like to start a podcast, but I don't even know where to start? Well, Buzzsprout has the answers for you. Buzzsprout is a podcast hosting service that provides a number of valuable resources to help you on your podcasting career path. For one, Buzzsprout offers indefinite hosting of all your episodes and allows you to host as much material as you want, depending on the type of subscription that you opt for. Buzzsprout also provides a means for getting your show hosted to every major podcasting platforms such as iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, you name it. In addition, Buzzsprout also provides various means to get your show monetized through various sponsorship and affiliate programs, links to other paid hosting platforms such as Patreon and YouTube, and your own personal newsroom to learn all the tips and tricks for optimizing your podcast for the greatest return on your investment. If you're hearing all this and you're still interested, you can go to my link below and receive an Amazon gift card for starting a podcast hosting subscription that you'll receive on the second billing period of your podcast journey. Everyone has something to share, and there's no time like the present. Join Buzzsprout today.
And we're back. Technical difficulties aside.
Woo! Which
Uh,
not bad. I'll take a single cutoff that we could easily edit out of post than a series of like, wait, what'd you say? What'd you say?
Yeah. Oh, I just cut it off for now,
Yeah.
but we're back now. Yeah, I had to log into Facebook on my computer because I don't normally do that, Tom. But,
No.
what were we talking about? Same.
I think we're talking about like the different, like basically. I think we're just wrapping up about like how art and shit is just like shit and art and stuff. No, basically like the differences between like objective and subjective, and like uh how the artist intends to bring an emotion out of you, even if that's an emotion you don't feel. That's okay. Just take a chill pill and enjoy art.
Sounds about right.
Yep, basically.
Well, I did have oh yeah, a couple of things from before. From last week.
Woo!
uh, so the oh yeah, nerd alert again. The book at the omnibus that I was talking about before that I'd read was Honor Imperialis. That's the one I have for Imperial Guard.
Oh, okay.
So
I haven't read that one.
yeah, that was the east one. And the book that I couldn't remember was about a bunch of Imperial Guard end up fighting the Death Guard. So that's fine.
Ah, okay.
I think
Yeah,
most
that's good.
I think they all die if I remember right. But you know,
Generally, how Imperial Guard
that's how it
stories
is.
go.
Oh,
And then they all died.
yeah, the end. Happy. And then the Dark Angels one was Legacy of Caliban.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
I haven't read it.
Yeah, no, that it like it mostly follows a couple of aspirants
Mm-hmm.
in there, and the last book also includes which is why it's called the Master of Sanctity, because it also follows like the leader of
The Librarius.
no chaplain. See,
Oh,
for the
okay.
Dark Angels.
What's his name again?
I don't
I
remember.
cannot remember.
It's not
Not the 40K guy. It was like the old one.
well no, it's someone else. It's not Ezekiel or whatever. No, Ezekiel's a library. Uh,
Yeah,
there's no model for him.
yeah. Oh,
It's
son
someone
of
else.
a bitch. What's his name? This is bugging me. Hang on. That would be. What's his fucking name? Ask. No, that's ask. No. What? Hang on. Hold on. Hey, hold on. Hold on. Notable members. Post heresy. Asmodai. I
No,
think that's who it is. That's not him?
it's not him.
Because he's the Master Interrogator Chaplain. Fucking god damn it.
Let me look up.
Dagonet? It says Dagonet's the Master of Sanctity. I didn't know Dagonet was the Master of Sanctity. I thought it was Asmodai.
He's
I was
like
like,
the fuck. That's a Reddit thread. That doesn't help. No, he's like the
he's the head chaplain, basically.
Okay, Ravenwing, Master of Sanctity, and the Unforgiven. Shit. Can't find it. That's all there is to that. But no, so but he's still kind of like not really a main character. And then what's his face? Azrael's already like been the chapter master. Like he literally shows up in the last book like the fuck's going on over here. but no, and then also it does follow Samael and what's his face?
is the
Deathwing.
Belial
Belial. Yeah, it
or
follows them for a
Belial.
bit. And then it also has a lot to do with Mara Astelin, who is
Okay.
still alive.
Huh.
And he's...
Okay. That's news to me.
Well, there you go. You're missing out then, I guess.
Oh, Saffon. That's the name of the
Saffon. Yep,
Grandmaster of
that's what it
China.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's a fun one. And then I've got the next omnibus sitting on my shelf, waiting to
Nice.
be cracked open someday. I don't remember which one that one's called, but it's there.
Ready to roll.
What the fuck else was I gonna? I had something else ready to go, but it's completely gone.
Lost of the Warp.
I think. Well, I guess kind of wrapping up, like going back to the actual comedy aspect, like what the really good people.
Mm-hmm.
What the whole point is that is to be able to take something that inherently isn't funny and make it funny.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the people
Yeah.
who can make comedy out of the mundane.
Or well, not so much the mundane, but more like the abhorrent.
Or the abhorrent. Yes,
Yeah.
either. Both. Both is good. Both is good.
And yeah, obviously well, usually the people that end up shitting on that kind of fuck, can't speak anymore. I lost all my words. The
That's
critics.
okay.
The critics.
There you go.
Yeah, they generally don't. Well, actually, in most cases, they don't even know what they're. A lot of people don't know what they're writing about. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to publications. Like a lot of times, whenever you see like somebody comes out with like a negative review of like a movie or like a special or something like that, it almost always ends up seeing like, oh well, no, I didn't actually watch the thing. I just wrote what I was told.
So it was like it was an agenda-based review versus a actual review. Yeah.
Unless it's like some Twitter horseshit, in which case then it's just some fragile cunt. Can't take a joke.
Bitch.
So
anywho,
I'm sure I'll have to deal with that at some point in my life. But that'll just mean I made it. So. Did you freeze up again?
bit of a delay there.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I see. I hear words, but oh, god damn it.
There you go.
So yeah, I guess that just means my my signal's extended, but the signal itself, I guess, kind of sucks. Although I'm showing full, so I have no idea.
Could be somebody else is downloading something. Could be your internet's being hacked.
Probably. Well, I doubt that last part. Actually, no, that did kind of happen once before. I think somebody had managed to get our old Wi-Fi.
Oh shit!
Call it. Yeah, because we kept getting dinged for like people downloading, which not downloading, but torrenting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's nobody here. I actually thought it was one of my roommates initially, but then like I got the alert like when he was literally with me out of the house. It's like, oh, okay, so it's somewhere outside. So then I just changed everything. We didn't have that problem anymore.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. But also, I kind of feel like if you're a internet provider like that, it's kind of not your business, maybe. Well, I could be wrong.
It could be one of those things where it's like they're under regulation because it's considered stealing to be torrenting. So
Damn true.
you know, I don't know. I mean, it's all bullshit anyway. But
Well, I don't know what you got anything else major you want to throw in or?
no, I think that does it for me.
All right, so that was another episode of the Jankity Ass Podcast. Thanks always for watching or listening. If you're watching this, you're obviously watching it on YouTube. I might have to start throwing some of this on Vimeo or something like that too. Eventually, one of these sometime later. But yeah, if you're watching, like and subscribe to the channel here. That's Multi-Murdy Media. You get the playlist for the podcast here. You'll also get the Gutsy Ass Gamer. That's my Twitch and video games. Get Poncho's Paint Booth. That's my hobbies and mostly 40K stuff. It's mostly painting and all that. If you prefer listening, you can get the podcast here anywhere. Well, pretty much anywhere on like every major platform for podcasts and stuff. And then, of course, also check out Multi-Murdy Media on Instagram and Facebook. You get all the updates for new episodes coming out. I just put up the one for last week's, or at least on Instagram anyway. I still have to do the Facebook part. But and then there will, at the moment, there's all my link website down here. I'm eventually gonna start a new, different website someday, and
We can rebuild it. We have the technology.
yes. And then, of course, Tom, where can they find you?
So you can find me here, obviously, and I'm also at TSG Radio, where me and the LVO judges talk about 40K related stuff. For those of you who like 40K primarily, or primarily. Meh.
Yes. Head judges.
Head
LVO,
judges.
which really, in a way, makes them the head judges of the entire world. Almost.
That's also how they like to think of it.
True. No, subjectively, I think. But
Don't
yeah,
stop that again.
whatever. They're not listening to this shit. So yeah, there you go. That's it for us, and we will see you guys next week.
Hasta la vista.